What's good, everyone? Today we're covering terrible TikTok businesses, but before we get into that, a word from today's sponsor, Lockheed Martin. No, I'm kidding. Anything but that. I didn't suddenly turn evil, okay? But think about how annoyed you felt when you clicked on a video about TikTok businesses and suddenly I'm advertising Lockheed Martin to you. Okay, now imagine the video just ended there and there was no other content. That is the entirety of TikTok right now after they added TikTok Shop. So today, we're covering all the horrible businesses and products I see on there, as well as the people who advertise them. Now, we won't be covering just businesses though. If you're on TikTok or Instagram Reels and you're selling a product, you're fair game today. So we're gonna be covering anything from terrible TikTok shop sellers, all the way to Quan Mills.
Pregnant by a hood alien, by me, international best-selling author Quan Mills.
And breast milk jewelry. Let's get it. And we're gonna go in order from the most common things that you've probably came in contact with, all the way to the insane things I found with like 5 likes. So, the first people I want to cover are TikTok shop salespeople. And I'm gonna be honest, I think salespeople is too kind of a word, because basically what these people do is that they'll buy products off TikTok shop, and then make dedicated advertisement videos for them, and if people buy it, they get part of the commission. And I'm gonna be honest, I usually try to be like fair on my channel. I don't really get like mad about things, but dude, TikTok shop advertisements infuriate me. It's one of my just biggest pet peeves. For one, I mean, usually the products suck, but also the advertisements themselves are just unbearable. And the worst part is that they'll try to hide that they're ads until you're already watching and like locked in kinda. And so you think you're reading a meme or watching a skit, but then no, it's actually just some broke boy advertising me sweatshop plastic. Like, look, I get people need to make money, and I normally don't monetarily shame people, but honestly, I don't feel bad in this case because, like, you have to have some starting capital to buy these products, or like, if you're a clothing brand, you have to have some starting capital to, you know, start the brand. So I'm guessing you're not in dire straits, so I feel like you have no reason to make advertisements as annoying as they are. Here's an example.
What is going on in China, and why is it the third video I've seen like that? Chinese haircuts are wild. Low-key, just because I seen that video, I'm gonna put every single one of my beanies at 75% off. And this is gonna be happening for the next 24 hours.
Yeah, that's right. This dude's entire social media presence is just stitching videos that people actually want to watch with this terrible clothing brand that looks like everything else. I mean, these might even be resold, I don't know. And the worst part is the TikTok shop accent.
So guys, do not sleep on this deal because this is only happening today. And get some before the sale runs out.
Like, seriously, dude, does this not get depressing? Like, your entire internet brand is just hopping on the internet with YouTube Shorts dialect and then stitching your videos onto content that people actually like. I'm sorry, that's depressing. It's just horrible, dude. But honestly, I don't mind TikTok ads if they are entertaining though, instead of just infuriating. And like, if there's actual content in the video, still I can handle them, kind of like YouTube sponsorships. But like, TikTok shop sellers are just beyond low effort. It's like, you can actually make a decent skit, like, out of your product, but they never do. It's always the most unfunny thing I've ever seen.
Bro, I'm so tired of all these vintage t-shirts online being like 40, 50 bucks, man. Oh, you said you found one for cheap online? No way. I wish I could find one like that too. Oh, you said try it on? Bet, bro. Oh, this shirt is so clean. Like, actually.
It is an incredibly low effort, like, side hustle. Like, the people who are selling TikTok shop products are the exact same people making faceless AI YouTube channels. That Venn diagram is a circle, and that circle is a circle in hell. But for real though, not all of them are bad. Like, this guy's pretty decent. So what he does is he advertises this like hand that you put on the wall to hold things, drops it immediately, and then just switches to 7 minutes of like extremely fucked up mobile game footage. Like, what am I looking at here? Like, seriously, imagine being the company who opens up your stuff to get sold for commission, and then you see one of your sellers is just breaking the product and giving his audience a seizure. But it's better than giving death to your audience. Like, look at this one. So these people are selling a Glock replica water gun. Like, dude, you can like carry this thing outside in any state other than Texas. Like, for, wait, what's that sound? Oh, yeah, it's just every police department in America celebrating. Christmas came early for the cops this year. Like, oh my gosh, dude, whoever's selling this is gonna get someone killed. But while the generalized advertisements on my For You page are already bad enough, the personalized ones are even worse. So I opened up the TikTok shop tab and I was immediately greeted with a book called The Joy of Gay Sex. Like, are you trying to tell me something, TikTok? And then right under that, I got recommended a sign that says slow, autistic child at play. And then like 5 Roblox hoodies beneath that. Like, who do you think I am? Guilty on 2 counts. I do play Roblox. And they might be right on the second part, but I don't really feel like getting diagnosed because that costs a ton of money and I doubt it's going to change anything. Like, dude, up to $5,000 for an assessment? It's like, what would that even do for me at that point? I go in, I fork over 5 bands, the small fork, of course, just to find out I'm autistic and broke. Like, what? Like, you know, I gotta pick a struggle at some point. Speaking of struggles, though, one of the things that pisses me off most about TikTok advertising are the shitty t-shirts they sell. So naturally, one of the first methods of uncreative people to make money is by just printing any trending meme. Well, is generous even calling them trending because they're always just super outdated onto shirts and then selling them on TikTok shop. It's horrible. Like, look, I'm not the humor police, alright? Humor, I hardly know her. But I swear these shirts are solely designed and marketed towards frat boys who look like they'd spike your drink. Like, haha guys, it's funny because it says white boy of the year, and I'm a white boy. Get off my fucking For You page, I'm trying to Dune! Sorry to all my roommates who had to hear that. And I'm joking though, my For You page is mostly Pokemon Showdown memes, alright? I swear. But to be honest, I just really feel that like, meme shirts never really work when they're intending to be funny. At least they're never funny in the way they want to be. So for example, my favorite shirt right now is this shirt that says, "Biker bitches don't need vibrators." I got it for $4 at a thrift store. That's an absolute steal. But like, to me, this shirt works and is actually funny because like, it just makes you ask a lot of questions. Like, okay, is this for biker bitches to wear? Is this for biker bitch enthusiasts? And like, it's barely even a joke. Like, it's worded like a public service announcement. Like, guys, in case you weren't aware, I don't know if you know this, but biker bitches, they don't need vibrators. You know, common misconception, just spreading some biker bitch awareness. And the final layer of irony, why is this non-biker bitch wearing a biker bitches don't need vibrators shirt? Humor is subjective, so maybe you disagree, but the only like funny shirts in my opinion are ones that like aren't meant to be funny. But you know, not everyone thinks so, because you're about to see probably the worst shirt ever made, and something that fills me with just nausea-inducing cringe. I'm sorry, your audio isn't broken, I just need a sec because like, I can barely even look at this, okay? This is just horrendous. This is another one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, this shirt is everything I dislike about Kendrick's fanbase and just kind of like fandom as a whole. And look, I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan, he was number 2 for me last year. Like, I'm not a Kendrick hater when I say this, but like, I'm sorry, the internet has gotten so unbearably corny when it comes to him. Not saying that his music is, not saying he is, or that most of his fans are, but there's like a subset of fans, you know, the people who made this shirt that just annoy me to all hell. Like, I'm sorry, I love his music, but every time I hear Not Like Us, I get stunlocked in real life because that Diddy Blood tweet just flashes into my brain like that one Akira meme.
Leave me alone!
I'm sorry, Grandpa, I know you're watching, but I don't even know how I could, like, begin to explain that sentence. Now look, I know the Diddy Blood tweet was most definitely satire. Well, I'm praying it is. But it's making fun of a real existing trend. Like, seriously, why was Pyro Cynical covering the Drake and Kendrick beef? Why did we let that happen? Like, what? Did no one think to interfere?
But anyway, in this year, Kendrick actually appeared on Future and Metro's booming track, Future and Metro's booming track, Future and Metro's booming track.
And like, why the fuck is Nutshell Animations making mustard memes? Like, again, I can't be the only one that's annoyed that the most violently unfunny person on the planet is making low-effort mustard jokes now. Like, it's like watching your best friend get shot and killed, and then the circus comes into town, digs him out of the grave, brings him to the freak show, and then shoots him again for more entertainment. Okay, maybe that's a bit of hyperbole. Actually, no, it's not. That's an understatement, if anything. That sort of, like, cornification of, like, people I like is one of the things that annoys me most. And overall, I'm just saying that I hate this shirt. I know, very long-winded way of saying that. Every fandom's got these people, but they're basically vultures who will, like, latch on to something people like, and then make all the lowest effort merch they can of it to try to make a quick buck. It's like, seriously, dude, AI-generated mustard shirts? Like, the joke wasn't even funny in the first place, and now you're AI-generating shirts from it. And there are people willingly buying and advertising this. This is insane to me. Okay, again, not to like shame people monetarily, but what level of brokery do you have to be on to start selling these? I'm sorry, I pray it never gets that bad. Subscribe so it doesn't get that bad. I feel like once you become a TikTok t-shirt seller, you just start to gradually lose a bit of your humanity. Like, every sale you make just makes you forget one more memory from your actual life. Kinda like demons from Demon Slayer. Like, there's no way you turn your personal account with your real name on it into an advertising billboard for AI-generated shirts and don't come out of it with some sort of capitalism-induced brain damage. And the worst part about these shirts though is that people started making fun of them in the comments by saying like even more corny jokes, which aged really poorly because the company making them didn't realize they were being satirical. So now we have Drake saying ketchup, Queso saying burger, and R. Kelly saying piss. Like, these people are beyond out of touch. What is going on? But anyway, speaking of terrible money-making opportunities, these shirts aren't the only soulless product on TikTok. In fact, this place is the hub of useless, overconsumptive crap. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not all bad. I got a set of Ahuhu markers for like, is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. But I got them for $40. They were normally $80, so, you know, it's not all bad. But I don't know, man. The companies that primarily advertise using TikTok are really suspect. And like, I don't know, do you really want to put your credit card information into TikTok? Like, the last thing I want to do is trust certain sellers on there. Like, yeah, dude, I'm sure Fashion Local Store is totally real and legit. Like, what? But again, there are some decent products in there sometimes. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about dog shit. So let's continue. So one of the worst products I've seen, and another one of the things that inspired this video, was this energy drink sippy cup lid. Like, dude, this is pure Western decadence right here. It's an energy drink sippy cup lid made by sweatshop labor to solve a problem that doesn't exist, and then inevitably become trash when people forget about it. Like, sorry, but this is horrible. Actually, wait, no. It does have one use. I can finally give Red Bull to my toddler. Let's go. Psych, I'm kidding. Red Bull sucks. I give a Monster. But anyways, yeah, I don't think I'll be buying Drinker Buddy anytime soon. Drinker Buddy? I hardly know her, buddy. Moving on though, here's another piece of garbage plastic. A product entirely designed to wipe up beard hairs. That's it. I mean, maybe you could find another use, but like, come on, dude. Do we really need to make like a product for this? Does everything need a product nowadays? Like, can't you just use a paper towel or your hand? I don't know. I barely grow any facial hair, so maybe I'm just privileged. And maybe I just don't understand the need for this product. Huh, thanks for the beard genetics, Dad. It's cool though. I got your height genetics. Appreciate it. Dad reveal at 30K, I guess. Also, to add insult to injury, this thing costs $20. I can't take it anymore, man. Speaking of injury though, there's a lot of looks maxing products on here. So one of the most prevalent is this gum that's supposed to be able to enhance your jawline by like working your masseter muscles or whatever. I don't think that works the way they think it does, but whatever. And maybe I'm wrong, but isn't that like one of the easiest ways to get TMJ? I don't know. But looking at this TikTok, I have a better question.
What the hell?
These looks maxing accounts sell a lot of like hair products too, such as based texture powder. And dude, I am not buying a product called Based sold on TikTok Shop, and I'm definitely not putting that in my hair. Like, that sounds like it's marketed towards 15-year-olds. It's probably got like 20 carcinogens. Like, are you serious? But I'm gonna be honest, these products are all a gift from God compared to the next product, which is a space bar weight being sold for $15. It is a piece of plastic that like weighs your space bar down so you can like fake paying attention on like schoolwork or work or whatever, like work from home. Or, you know, for me, it's great for Roblox AFK farming, all right? There's one use for it. But the worst part about this is that it's got so much packaging and like they had to use material to make this thing. And you know what else does a job? A piece of tape, a rock, a macro that you can set up in 5 seconds. Like, I'm sorry, Spacebar Company, but you're gonna end up in a history book as an example of why global warming got so bad. But not everyone feels the same way I do, though. So let's look at our next group of people. So as I mentioned a bit earlier, there's a bunch of TikTok accounts that are just like people's personal accounts that are just totally dedicated to just out videos trying to get people to buy these products. And again, I tend to be really like anti-consumption, so this sort of thing really bothers me. Like, it's basically just drop shipping in a different flavor. Like, do we really need this, dude? Do we really need these products? Look, I get people gotta make money. Like, whatever, do what you gotta do. But I still reserve the right to complain about it when you're polluting my For You page. And I want to know, like, what even compels people to do this? Like, is it economic hardship? Like I said, I don't think it is, because it's like, you need the starting capital to buy all these things, right? And if you have that money, why not pursue something actually like, I don't know, cool that can make you money? Or is the lack of effort like the appeal of it though? But again, like I said, like it bugs me, but not all advertisement does. If they're funny about it, it's kind of cool. Or if like on YouTube, if you could just skip past it, it's fine. But like, I don't know, even when the ad is entertaining, if it's from a creator I like go to for other content, it still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It's like, okay, my favorite creator posted, oh, it's a TikTok shop link, now I trust you less, okay? Like, damn. I don't know. Moving on. So shitty plastic products are not the only things that get promoted on TikTok. In fact, one of the biggest markets on here is books. That's right, we're talking about BookTok again. Someone should make a video about that. No, someone should make 2 videos about that. that you're gonna watch after this one. Because the people we have today are way worse than anything I've ever covered. Well, I think. You'll have to watch them and find out, right? So if you don't know what BookTok is, it's basically where people talk about books on TikTok. And it's a gooner hellhole, alright? There's a lot of like normal people who just like enjoy normal books, but then there's a bunch of other people who are just like only post about smut. It's just smut. Cliterature, if you will. That's not really that big of a deal until you realize that like half of what they post about is what's called dark romance, which is just romanticized abuse. There's really no like other way to explain it. And while a lot of people on BookTok just post about the books they've read, it's actually one of the biggest ways to market yourself as an author nowadays. So let's look at this person who is writing Jesus Omegaverse. Jesus X Judas Omegaverse to be exact. It's a little bit of enemies to lovers. But yeah, so in case you don't know, I gotta explain it again. The Omegaverse is basically like this literary trope where everyone kind of like acts like wolves and they all have like born designations. Like you're born with like alpha, beta, or omega traits. It's like alphas are like your stereotypically dominant people. Omegas are like submissive and like even if they're men, they can usually get pregnant. Oh, fuck. I just heard my roommate moving outside. He probably heard that. I need to rethink my life. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. And in case you're wondering, yeah, Jesus is the Omega here. Oh, that's a sentence. Ugh. Oh yeah, and look, I'm not the Omegaverse aficionado. I'm not Sergeant Smut. Like, I'm not really a fan of this sort of thing. But I've actually talked about this trope before on my channel, which you should watch after this video. And like, low-key, I gotta admit, like, talking about those sort of topics kind of like helped me with social anxiety a bit. Look, I had 100 subs at the time. I got on the internet with no monetary incentive, with my face and only 100 subs. And I explained the Omegaverse to 350,000 people. Like, what do I have to be afraid of at this point? Like, why am I afraid of ordering at a restaurant? Like, if anything, they should be afraid of me. But yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. Moving back to the blasphemy book. So yeah, this is an mpreg fanfic. Oh yeah, if you don't know what mpreg means, it sounds like the name. It means males can get pregnant. Oh! I want to know though, the question I ask for everybody in this video is what life path does it take to get to this point? What leads you to write Jesus X Judas Omegaverse? That's insane. That's insane. Imagine explaining this to the afterlife. And the best part, the absolute kicker, is if you don't follow her account and know what the book's already about, Jesus and Judas aren't mentioned in the description. It's a jump scare. It goes from whatever this is to randomly including a Jesus X Judas side plot. That's so fucking funny. Like, dude, I'm all for plot twists, but that's a plot tornado. And you know what the craziest part is? Well, I said the last one was, but this is even worse. It's called 2213. You know what that means? It's referencing Revelation 22:13, where Jesus says he's the Alpha and the Omega. I might read this. Like, it's only 110 pages. I'm considering it. I feel like that'd make a pretty good video. Let me know if you think so in the comments. But yeah, that's a whole rabbit hole. I'm not going to go down it today. The next person I want to cover is someone I've already covered, and that's Lauren Beale. You might remember her from my Bookstagram video that you should watch after this one. But yeah, so Lauren Beale is a self-proclaimed author of romances. Again, it's just like a dark romance thing. Basically, every book is just a woman getting brutalized. I'm sorry for laughing, it's just I'm so disconnected from this at this point because it's just so bizarre. But yeah, she's probably my favorite author to like observe. Definitely not my favorite author. Haven't read any of her books, probably won't. Actually, I might read Frisky the Snowman. That one sounds fun. But yeah, so what's she been up to? Let's do a little update segment. Yeah, she wrote this book. Like, what the fuck is a murder retreat, first of all? Like, what? That sounds like a really bad 2-sentence horror story. I went to the retreat. It was the murder retreat! And you know, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't give her enough credit. I think she took some of my criticism from the last video, because one of her books has a female kidnapper instead of a male kidnapper! Hell yeah, equality! More female kidnappers! Let's go! Anyways, yeah, that's it for Lauren Beale. She hasn't done much else. If you want a deeper dive, I already did that, which you can watch after this video. Because we have someone even more unhinged today, and that's Quan Mills. And he's been haunting my For You page for like 3 months now.
Pregnant by a Hood Alien. By me, international best-selling author Quan Mills.
So yeah, Quan Mills is an urban fiction satire writer who writes these absolutely insane books on purpose and then markets them on TikTok. I'm gonna be honest, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like, I'm not even joking. I die every time this man pulls up on my For You page. Here is his most popular title. This hoe got roaches in her crib. Yeah, this is an actual book. You can buy this with real money. Also, dude, I love this cover. The absolute distress this man is in is so cinematic. Like, but I get it, man. She got roaches in her crib. Like, what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, here's the first line of the book, by the way. All these fucking roaches and shit. I mean, that's what I expected. Like, I don't know what else I came for. Like, moving on though. My baby mama is a loser. If My Baby Mama is a Loser was so good, then why is there a My Baby Mama is a Loser too? Oh wait, there is! Old Thought Next Door. This is one of his most popular ones, by the way. Also, what's funny is that when I googled Quan Mills books, Old Thought Next Door popped up next to Mathematical Foundations of Quantum Mechanics. Dude, I guarantee these have the same audience. Like, come on. Moving on. Pastors eat pussy too. No, I didn't censor that. That's how he actually spelled it. Pussy. And then we got its sequel, Pastors Eat Booty too. You know, I love to see such character growth, I can't lie. And unfortunately, this sequel never came out though, which is absolutely tragic. Pregnant by an ogre thug from 63rd Street. Pregnant by a hood clown from hell. Pregnant by a hood alien. Wow, I'm starting to see a theme here, alright? Oh yeah, and about the hood clown from hell one, I feel bad for laughing, but someone in the comments said that it was their autobiography. Also, dude, I love his book covers. Like, did he hire Gucci Mane's graphic designer? Like, look at the contrast on these. It's so good. Anyways, though, I find Quan Mills' whole grift to just be hilarious. Because from what I've seen, he's a full-time author doing this. And it's just insane to me that someone can make a living selling books such as Pregnant by My Mother's Gay Husband. It's an actual novel. You could buy that with money. It's also funny because he actually retired a little while back from, like, urban fiction writing. And then unretired like a month later because he wanted to get into hood sci-fi. So guess what? Pretty soon we're gonna get titles such as Fell in Love with a Hood-Rich BBW Velociraptor. I can't wait. So I skimmed a lot of reviews and I actually even read a little bit of This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib. And the general consensus is that these books are pretty funny, unserious, and entertaining. They're pretty much just being edgy for edgy's sake and just like as raunchy as possible. They have absolutely horrendous grammar and spelling apparently, and like a lot of the times in the second half of the book, they'll be like barely edited. Or like they'll mix up names, or like it seems like you just put multiple drafts together. And like I said, I read a little bit of This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib, just so I could let y'all know what's in it. This book is about a woman named Fred Quisha, who is a welfare-abusing single mother. So, Fred Quisha is a welfare queen stereotype, and the book is about a custody battle because she's super abusive. And the first, like, 2 chapters, the ones I read at least, just spent a ton of time going into vivid detail how putrid and disgusting and abusive this woman is, and I'm just like, dude, this is genuinely uncomfortable. I can't lie though, the writing style is pretty vivid, it's just applied to this subject matter, it's kind of rough, personally. And like, I'm not even sure how to feel about this as a whole, because it's like, on the one hand, like, is this what he actually believes about black women? Like, it's very vivid, and he's admitted to using ghostwriters before, like, did Ronald Reagan ghostwrite this? Like, what are we doing? But on the other hand, you can make the argument that he's like, purposefully exaggerating these stereotypes as a way to critique them. Like cranking it up to 11 to make them seem more silly, and so it's actually like a progressive use. That's really up for you to decide. I have the complexion of a flashbang, so I'm not really the type of person to discuss this. Now, I don't read a lot of urban fiction either, but there's also the argument that maybe this is like critiquing urban fiction. Maybe urban fiction tends to really lean into these stereotypes uncritically, and Quan Mills is basically saying, hey, this is what you guys sound like when you do that. But I don't know. That's just my, like, experience. It might just be this book that's kind of weird. Like, Old Thought Next Door is a little different. It's about this old woman who gets a terminal illness, so decides to live the rest of her life as the biggest old super freak. So, like, you could argue that's like the hypersexual black woman trope, but honestly, I think he's just trying to be super silly and edgy for the sake of it. So maybe it's just This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib that's kind of rough, but, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll read one of these for YouTube sometime. So yeah, are these books just silly, edgy fun, or are we laughing with Uncle Ruckus instead of at him? I don't know, that's up for you to decide. I just had to go over it so you know what's like in these. Because if I didn't, that's a pretty bad look. But also, I don't want to be all white saviory and take this too seriously. I just had to bring this up. But like, you know, this is his persona on TikTok, so I'm guessing it's not meant to be taken very seriously.
You're a disgrace to the black community, just making us look bad. That's the whole point of being a CIA operative. Duh.
But overall, is Quan Mills a witty satire writer, or is he the second coming of COINTELPRO? I don't know, but I'm leaning towards the latter because I looked up Quan Mills on Twitter and this tweet popped up. This person, Spotify, recommended Old Thought Next Door, the audiobook, right next to Huey Newton's autobiography. There is nothing micro about this aggression. That is insane. And this person said they listened to nothing like Quan Mills ever. So like, Spotify genuinely thinks that Quan Mills and Huey Newton are similar authors. Like, what should we recommend this guy? Well, he really enjoyed Huey Newton. He also really liked Fred Hampton. Oh, I know. He's gonna fucking love Pregnant by My Gay Stepdaddy. Like, what? But I don't know. That's it for Quan Mills. I can't do this anymore. I just find his entire existence absolutely hilarious. And he's active on TikTok. Go follow him. He's constantly posting, like, prospective book covers. Let's look at one right now. Quan Mills is a CIA psyop. Amazing, man. But I don't know. I might read one of these one day. I don't know if y'all want to hear me read any of these, but I don't know. If I'm gonna read anything from this video, it's probably gonna be 2213. Just let me know in the comments. But anyways, that's it for the authors. On to the next type of person. So these are the people who are like individual entrepreneurs. They're usually selling something a little more like weird or esoteric than like the plastic shit you see on TikTok shop. So the first type of person I want to cover are those who make breast milk jewelry. And going into this, I actually thought there was only one person who made this and I just got lucky to find them. No, this is actually a really common like side hustle. Like what? How do you get into this? You're just sitting there one day like, you know, if I mix breast milk with resin, I'd have a nice pearl necklace. I don't know. I'd be afraid to bring it outside though. Like what if it melts in the sun? But yeah, that's not actually the worst type of jewelry people sell. Yeah, there's cum jewelry. Like what? Who has this idea? And what's so funny is like finding these people, it kind of made me go through like a whole philosophical debate. I was like, okay, so obviously I can't show this substance in its normal form on YouTube, right? But could I show jewelry made from it? Like, yeah, it's the same color, it's like the same material, but it's mixed with resin and hardened. So like, is that the same thing? Is that gonna like, is that gonna be a problem? I'm like, I decided not to. Ultimately, it basically looks the same as breast milk jewelry. You don't really need to see it, but I don't know. It's like the nut of Theseus. I'm like, at what point is it not like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I don't know. It's quite the conundrum. Conundrum. But I'm gonna be honest though, it's like, if I sent like a sample in, I'd be looking sideways at every white person 20 years younger than me for the rest of my life. Like, I don't know, man, that seems sketchy. But speaking of coming, check out this guy. So this guy goes by the Henry Ford of fitness, and he's another one of the people who made me want to do this video. Here's an introductory TikTok.
Hello sharks, my name is Juan Velasquez. I am the founder of Power Pressing, the new sport for bodybuilding, and today I am requesting $1 million for the 75% of my triceps bar. Are you guys ready to change the fitness industry forever?
I really hope he's just the Henry Ford of fitness, not the Henry Ford of anything else. Like, I don't really want to know his political beliefs. He made this pipe with springs on it in his basement and just made it his life's mission to sell this thing and like make it a real product. Like, no disrespect, but it reminds me a lot of Chris Chan Asanachu, alright? But hey, despite the absolutely bizarre presentation, it seems to be working, because I checked his GoFundMe, and he's raised $1,200, and one of those was an anonymous $1,000 tip. Who saw the Jerkulator 500 and was just like, yup, that deserves a band? I don't know, no hate. But I do gotta question it a little bit, like, does this even hit your triceps? It's like, you're not fully extending your arms, and like, there's a reason tricep pushdowns, you like, spread your arms out at the bottom. Like, I mean, hey, he's got the physique to prove it, but for some reason I doubt he built this all with the jerk bar. But you know, no disrespect, Mr. Ford of Fitness, I like your entrepreneurial spirit, and I hope that one day gyms look like this. But moving on, I was actually gonna have a section here to discuss, coffee enemas. Yeah, that's a thing. I don't know why you wouldn't just use like a regular one, like why coffee, but yeah, I was actually telling my dad about this one because I thought it was really funny. I'm like, hey, and guess what I found for my next video? And he's just like, oh yeah, that's been a thing. I'm like, what? Why do you know that? like how did you find this? I don't know. Maybe he gets the same reels I do. I haven't asked. Anyways, on that note, that's all I got. Social media advertisers are wild in 24/7 though, so it's very likely there'll be a sequel to this video. Subscribe or else. Later.